Welcome to RPGMAKERVXACE.INFO tutorials. This is tutorial number 4, part 2. We're working on some custom states and skill sets. We just created a stealth state in part 1. In this tutorial, I'm going to try to create an offensive and a defensive stance for the warrior or a soldier. So basically they're going to be interchangeable states, and one is going to remove the other one. So very similarly to the way we started last time, we need to create two skill sets this time. So we're going to have a defensive stance, we can just call the skill set defense, and then we'll call the second skill set battle. So we're going to create two states. Apologize for the WoW ripoff here, defensive stance and battle stance. And we're gonna pick an icon for it so that it the buff is represented and you see that it's activated. And we're going to remove at battle end. And I'm not 100% sure about the restriction, but so there's no duration. It lasts until the battle's over or we remove it ourselves. So battle stance is going to increase our attack. It's going to lower our target rate to the equivalent of the other DPS classes. It is going to drop our defense a little bit, and it's going to unlock the battle skill set. And we want to seal battle stance so you can't stack it, basically. But I don't have the skill yet, so we're gonna have to backtrack a little bit. So defensive stance is going to be very much the same. It's going to add skill type defense. We're going to increase our max hit points to 125%. We're going to increase our defense to 125%, and we're going to add 5% evasion. There's all kinds of possibilities here for what you want to do. We're going to up the target rate to 150%. So she takes, she stands in front of your party in a defensive way and takes more of the hits. But you have to give some penalty for that. So we're going to put the attack down to 70%, and so we basically set up our two states now. One gives attack bonuses and the other gives defensive bonuses. So what we need to do now is create two spells, one to enter each state. So we're going to go to skills and we're going to create battle stance and defensive stance. We're going to use the same icons so that it's recognizable what you're buffing yourself with. You know, you should put descriptions in, but we're gonna skip that. So battle stance is the scope is the user, so it targets you, not your enemies. It is a special skill type. We're gonna make it cost 5 TP. It's a certain hit. Uses battle stance for the message, no damage, and all we're going to do is add state, battle stance, and remove state, defensive stance. So if you enter it, you'll go into battle stance, but if you're in defensive stance, it's going to remove that state. So you can only be in one or the other. And so basically the skill defensive stance is going to be exactly the same. Same cost, certain hit. Excuse me. I'm sorry, guys. And then add state, defensive stance. Whoops. And remove state, battle stance. Okay. I don't think I needed to close that right away. Right, so now what I want to do is I want to seal the skill specifically. So when you're in defensive stance, let's see, we cannot recast it. And I couldn't do that until I had created the skill, and then we're going to do the same thing with battle stance. Okay. So that should work. We have to add the skills, and we don't really have any skills unlocked for those two skill sets, so I'm just going to change some of the ones we already have just to make it easier. So at level 5 I want to learn, I'm going to learn both stances, both spells here. And so the last thing we need to do is tie some skills to those two stances. So I'm going to make strong attack, battle. I'm going to make cleave, battle. And I'm going to make provoke, defensive. And I've already added that skill to her as well. So now that we've changed those skills to those two skill sets, we should be able to unlock them in battle. I was going to do one more thing here. It's since it's pretty much along the same lines, we're gonna create a charm spell for our enemies. Now this might make testing difficult if my entire party gets charmed, but just for the sake of showing you how to do it, it's kind of a missing spell in this maker. So we're going to name it. I'm going to quickly find an icon for it, and the scope is one enemy, and the way we do it is we create a charm state. So create the state with the same icon, and the restriction now that you're going to place on this state is that you attack an ally, and then we're going to remove it at the battle end, and we can remove by damage just to make it easier. But if you wanted to, you could, like, say it's removed by damage, but your target rate is set way down so that you don't always just get knocked out of it immediately. So we got to go back now and make this charm skill, add the charm state, apply. And then the last thing we're going to do is we're just going to make our bat here, which is the enemy I've got set up. We're just going to give it the skill. So hopefully they cast it and they test it out. I did that really quickly, so I'm sorry if you didn't get it. So we're going to make it a special skill, and we're going to make it a certain hit, just for the sake of testing, so that we get to see it. I think when I did it in my game, it was a magic skill, so it has a chance to resist or miss, and you have to balance each skill to your game and whatever level it's at. So that should be it. We've created 2 interchangeable states, and we've got a charm spell for the enemy that basically puts you in a charm state and causes you to attack your allies. So we're going to test that out, and hopefully it all works. I'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. We're going to test this. Did make a couple mistakes. I forgot to make defensive stance target the user, so it was targeting the enemy. Battle stance was fine, but I just went through that pretty quickly, so I forgot to switch that option. And then I had to make my warrior resist charm, because it was just getting charmed over and over again, and I couldn't demonstrate the skills I had added. So I'm hoping this works now. Alright, so we're going to go into defensive stance and just attack with everybody else. Okay, so I've gained defensive stance, and there's the charm spell gone off on somebody already. So now I've got my defensive set, and I can provoke the enemies, which I'm not going to do, but it unlocked the skill. So now we're going to switch into battle stance, and it should remove defensive stance. There, so now I'm in battle stance, and I've unlocked my battle set, and it won't let me use battle stance anymore, so it won't stack, which is what I intended to do when I sealed the skill in the state. So so it seems like everything's working pretty well. My charm spell here, yeah, they're attacking me, So it seems to work. So that was a great test after a little bit of trial and error. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to check out the blog, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow me on Twitter and Facebook, and I'll see you guys soon.